is, I mean, we're all on earth for a reason. I mean, it's not to go against each other. I mean, even though we have wars, but
Yeah.
that is not the purpose. I mean, that's how I see things now. We're supposed to help guide each other. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe that is what the purpose is. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
even though not a lot of us see it, but that should be the case.
Good day, Navin.
Good day.
Yeah. Thank you for sparing your time to join these small podcast sessions.
Oh, my pleasure. No problem.
Yeah, because I think I requested for this since last year, but I'm unable to make time for it.
At last.
So today, finally, we are able to make it. Actually, the reason I'm having these podcast sessions with you is all about leaderships, because previously, I have glanced through your LinkedIn profile. It's an impressive one for me because you have a very successful career, I would say, at your age, which is also you're considered my peers, right? So would you walk us through your background?
Starting from after uni or?
Yeah, starting from after uni.
Well, honestly, when looking for internship, it was a bit of a struggle. I somehow was one of those, like, the very last people to, start searching for a place. I somehow got very tied up with uni assignments, and I was involved in the university karate team because then we were involved in a number of tournaments. So yeah, I was applying here and there, and then even a family friend told me to, I mean, she was doing public relations, someone recommended to apply with her, but she said she has no place. So then she gave me my current boss card, and the company was called Ming and Associates, now shortened to MKH Associates. And yeah, so from there, contacted the boss, told me to do one essay about Anglo-Saxon, it was some British situation at the time, and had a phone call with him, and yeah, that was it. And January 2017, I was already hitting the ground running, while my other peers and, or shall I say, my batchmates were still on semester break.
I see.
So yeah, that was my dive into public relations, to be honest. And I guess you can say I jumped into a fire because at that time my boss and his team were handling the Cha Time Tea Life drama that was happening. I think you know the story where Loop Holding and La Cafa were at odds with each other, and eventually Loop ended up having to form a new brand called Tea Life, a fresh new brand. And
previously it was called Chat Time, right?
Cha Time, actually.
Cha Time.
So yeah, and I would say it was stressful, but I would say I'm fortunate because, I mean, exposed to all this crunch moments very early on. Of course, it comes with a price, like very stressed. But yeah, I was 2 years with Ming and Associates, learning about how to, not only write press releases. I was mostly involved in what do you call message strategy sessions with clients, prepping them what to say in front of the camera rather than say whatever they want. If not, I think, any slip of the tongue, the media will catch it, and that's it. There goes your story.
Correct.
So at the same time, media relations, getting to know the media, having a good relationship with them so that they're kind to your clients. So I was picking up that fast for the last 2 years, from 2017 to 2018, and then chose to step away from the company after that because my sister was going to go and study in Sabah. And yeah, I mean, someone had to be with my parents, right? So decided to work closer to home, and so I ended up doing sales and marketing after that with a company called WB Land. They were actually my clients when I was at MKH. So my boss recommended me to the boss here, and so I was doing marketing for this property company for a while. I mean, it's also in Sramban, actually. It's at Bandar Ainsdale. So I was also exposed to that, although very new to me. And then COVID came and, disrupted things a bit. Where the project was like, there's no guarantee future about it, but it's still running after how many years. But at that point in time, it was a lot of uncertainty, and so I was there until mid 2020, and someone I know brought me into into his company where he was selling sanitizers and all these detergents. He's a family friend, I would say. I teach his daughters Aikido and brought me on board.
I see.
But a very strange concept where while his staff work with him, he also encourages them to, open their own setups. But they were like continuing the business of selling all these products. It's something I didn't want to go into because I honestly didn't like sales. But and I thought, since there's no public relations, a proper agency in Sramban, I thought, why not I form one? And sure enough, someone also talked to my mom about, going back to graphic designing, and that's when we both kind of.
That's how you sparked the idea of establishing this your own company with your mom together.
Yeah, and the idea also came from my previous PR experience where we had a very small team, but I find we were overworked. I tried to have this concept where I brought in friends with different capabilities. So, I have one guy, from my school who knows, I've seen him, he's very organized, he can help me with the admin side of things. Found a friend who's good at copywriting, found a friend who's good at videography, one who's an artist, and I thought, from there, this is what it's about, right? Like, this is how you build a team, and of course, at the same time, you give people confidence in their capabilities. So, of course, it was not all smooth sailing. We did secure clients, but they came and go lah. They come and go lah, I would say. Still finding a footing, and I felt I was at a stage where I needed to get more experience somehow, and I decided to join back my former boss lah. And if you're wondering what happened to the previous company, the guy told me to retrench. Sorry, he retrenched me, but he told me to send a resignation letter.
I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, since this is the property company, right? You are saying
Sorry, this is not the property company. The property company I resigned to join this guy who was selling sanitizers and all.
Oh, okay.
And his plan, strangely, was I stay with him for 3 months and then I run my things on my own. So, but yeah, that's what happened. Retrenched me but told me to send in my resignation. Anyway, so I ran SNI, my own startup on my own, from the mid of 2021 until December, and that was where I decided I need more experience. That's why I contacted my old boss, and so I've been stuck with him until now. It's coming to 6 years plus. Actually.
6 years, quite a long time, Actually, what is your job's natures? Like you are actually, like what you mentioned, you're preparing the script. For those interviewee to speak fluently in front of the camera.
Yep.
So you help them. It's just like an editor, right?
In a way, yes. But I say we're more of consultants, as my boss puts it.
Consultants.
So they come to us for advice. Like, I have this idea. Like, they have this campaign. What do you want to shout about? They can shout about a lot of things, but if they don't have a strong key message, the media will not pick up what they want.
I see.
So we try to help our clients narrow down to, let's just say 3 key messages that they have in mind, and then we build it from there. So from there, when the media asks so many questions, sometimes I don't know whether it's like, they want info, but sometimes they make you go astray from your message. So we're teaching clients to don't go astray. You stick to what you want to say. So if you can tell the media, for example, when they ask you questions that are sensitive, you can say, you don't say no comment. Apparently in this kind of situation, you can't say no comment. If not, media will make some sort of story that you don't want. So we teach our clients to, no, like example, no, but there's a but we have this, So that's how we...
So that they can be more elaborative.
Correct. Yes.
I see. Then, what's your majors actually? Your degree, your batch?
So I did English language and comms. The major was English and the minor was comms, and public relations was one of it. That's why I ended up doing
Which means
internship.
your major is actually quite general, but the public relation is just part of it.
Correct, that's right.
Which means you can also venture into like mass communications, like mass media, like journalists,
Exactly.
or the newspaper writers, reporters, all these.
That was one of the options actually. Somehow, journalists, they have different shifts. I
Yeah.
don't think I was ready for that. So
Yeah, but it's fine. Anyway, what are you doing now also is part of your area of expertise,
Correct.
I would say. So actually, it's good. Then you are also, what I know about you is you are also the instructors for this Shudokun, right?
Shudokan. actually.
Shudokan.
Yeah.
Shudokan is like part of a martial arts, right? Am I right?
So I mean, just to give you a better idea, so Shudokan is like a name of a dojo given from. So a bit of short history.
Mm.
Our founder in Malaysia, Tambi Sensei,
Mm.
went to Japan and did judo, karate, and then he found aikido. And somehow when he came back to Malaysia, he decided to open up a dojo here. So we're proud to say we're like the first dojo that is outside of Japan.
Mm.
And the founding person for Yoshinkan Aikido, Gozo Shoda, gave the name Shudokan to Tambi Sensei. So just to clarify, it's not a style of Aikido, but it's like a dojo name lah, basically.
I see.
So the art we're doing is like Yoshinkan Aikido. Yeah. And yeah, I teach kids and adults lah. I've been in this art for like, so I started in 2006, sorry. Yeah, it's 20 years already. Yeah.
So which means you are now the instructors for
Yep.
this
Yes.
Sudokan.
Yep.
Sudokan's club in Seremban.
Yes, correct. That's right.
Okay. Then you are just, your jobs is like teachings like once a week or?
So I'm there for all the classes, which is 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. And I don't teach every day, but I teach most of the classes because I'm in Sramban. Most of my seniors are from KL, so you can say I'm the main person in Sramban lah, basically.
You
Yeah.
are the spokespersons and you are also the
Fair
person
enough.
in charge.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Which means you are also a very young public relations managers. You have you're running your own company, and you are also the instructors for this Shudokan
Yeah.
club in Seremban's. A very magnificent portfolio, I would say.
I mean, I
Yeah.
never expected all this, but this is how it played out lah. So
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite clear. I'm also amazed by your background. Then now I think we should step into the gist of these
Sure.
podcast sessions, which is regarding leaderships.
all right, sure.
Right. Do you know leaderships based on the book The Written by David M. Rubinstein? They mentions there are 6 types. I mean, they try to generalize the leadership styles into 6 types. They have the visionaries, they have the builders, commanders, they have the decisions makers and the masters and etc. Among all these leadership styles, how would you describe yourself? Which leadership style fits you the most?
Based on what you have shared earlier, I found myself to be more of a builder leader. Because I somehow see myself as someone who, I think I'm taking you back to another story where I was someone who was quite low on confidence, and then from there I kind of struggled to get confidence in myself. And I was just I was from being told by my dad, like, I know, like when you have an army dad who tells you like, I mean, although raising you with love, he's also like, it's called tough love lah. Sometimes these harsh words comes like you are stupid and all that.
I understood.
So and that kind of like, it sank into me, and from there how do I say, it was stuck in me. Like I would just like, I don't think I would achieve a lot, but I would just go with the flow of life.
Somehow it defeats your confidence
slightly.
Yeah.
So I had this thinking ever since primary school and until secondary school, and in primary school I was like, I was not like the top students. I was like close to the bottom. But someone in secondary school was different. I guess also the change of language, where I was in a Chinese school, and language was a bit of a thing. But I'm still grateful what I picked up there, the hard work and all that. Carried that into a La Salle school, and somehow went up class by class, and I think the most shocking part for me still was being recognized to become an assistant head prefect there. Yeah. And But of course, it wasn't easy balancing, being at that rank and of course with my studies.
Mm.
And, from there, I ended up doing Form 6.
Yeah, yeah,
We were
yeah.
there. And then I think you also didn't expect me to become the head
The
prefect
prefect.
of our
Yeah,
school.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Correct, correct.
but from these, stages, and after that, completing our STPM, going to uni, and, thinking of keeping a low profile, but somehow people notice you like, Navin, wow, you have achieved this, I mean, and then, somehow from there, it's like one confidence after another. And I found like I never had the chance to, learn it smoothly, but if I can help build others' confidence in a way, I think that's what matters a lot, lah. And sure enough, a lot of juniors in uni actually somehow surprisingly look up to me. And then from there, somehow I told myself like, maybe this is my way forward, lah. As if I can build people up, yeah,
Which means you serve as an inspirational figure, as a role models for those younger juniors to
yeah.
looking up.
And let's go to my Aikido journey also. Honestly, I did not expect to be, the instructor
yeah.
now, because I had a lot of people better than me, who much more flexible than me. I'm one of the stiff guys, to be honest. My sister was one of those flexible, but she didn't stay long. But yeah, but they all left one by one, and I was like the last one standing, lah. And there was also someone better than me. He also loved Aikido, but unfortunately he passed on. So, but yeah, and like he and I were like, I always saw him like he should be ahead of me, so I was like behind him. But now here I am today, and I see when I teach kids, I see myself in them, and I don't want that child to go through what I went. That's my thinking. I don't want people to go through what I went through. If I can make their lives a bit easier, that would be meaningful enough. And I guess you can say from there, that's how I saw myself as the builder leader.
Which means besides from teaching Aikido, you're also giving some life advices to those youngsters,
Yep, exactly.
like guiding them, serve as a guiding light to them.
Yep.
Throughout their studies or working.
Yep, exactly.
So you belongs to the builders. Yeah, I bet your main focus should be like nurtures and fostering the younger generations.
Yep.
Okay, good. Then the next questions will be like, how do you see yourself in terms of leading up, leading across, and also leading bottom? Because now you're as a very young managers, right? You have experience through all these up and down, I would say, in your career, and also your part-times and your own career, and also the Aikido instructors. So how do you like leading up, like how do you deal with your boss? Leading across, how do you deal with your peers? And also leading bottom, like how do you deal with your staff, especially those really defense. For example, just an example, you have some defensive staff or arrogant staff or incompetent staff. How do you deal with all this as a builder?
I somehow reach a stage where I find empathy is very, very crucial in how we communicate with everyone. And so let's start from the top. You were saying leading up, right?
Yeah, leading up.
For me, if I could make my boss life like a little bit less complicated, that is the way, lah. I think in PR, as we were taught, we need to foresee things ahead. But of course, don't press the panic button, lah. Don't be so anxious about it. But I think it's from there, foreseeing the scenarios, being strategic about it. And so yeah, that's how I try to, talk to my boss, lah. Of course, he may have his ideas, and he may always say like it works this way because he has done it before. But times have changed, and we have to evolve. I mean, with all this, so many things made easier with our phones, the gadgets, and but yeah, I would say, how do I say this? So with different thinking, but I think it's just switching positions to see. I mean, I try to see his point, but I also try to also be fair in a way. Like, I think this can work better this way. So that's how
which means it's actually from the generations of baby boomers, right? So there is also some generational gap between you and him.
Exactly.
Right? That's why the art of communications is important. Sometimes your perspective and your thinking might be really significantly different. So you are trying your best to convince him that these strategies would work, right?
As I realized, I mean, not only him, from my own dad, and then, I mean, my dad, the age gap was like, how do I say? When he was 86 when he passed away, and I'm 33 now, so
Well, yeah, it's quite right.
that's like a
Huge
50 plus age gap.
edge gap.
And then from my dad, and then I had Tambi Sensei, my Aikido master. I mean, you know, the gap lah, and having to, you know, work closely with these people, you know. But as I said again, it's about empathy lah, as I practice lah.
See,
You try to understand the other party, but you also have to make them see your side of the story. So that's how it is for me leading up. When it comes to leading across your peers, I think a lot of us, we're of the same age, more or less, or a bit younger. So I think it's important we don't let ego get to us. But for me, again, like, it's coming to the part where, okay, I always like to hear the other party's side before I say my thoughts, actually, to be honest, because for me, it's about working in harmony like, as I practice in Aikido, really. And while I will also, you know, understand the person's thoughts, it will take me a while to reflect, and then I will give my thoughts. Of course, with, not to say with authority, but I would say, while I respect that view, how about we try this, you know? So, and for me, the important thing when you work with peers is that trust lah. And I think this is where empathy comes into play. Let's just say if my whatever colleague or what, I mean, I've worked at SNI with a lot of freelancers, and then in my company, I have one of my university juniors, who's also my main partner right now in the company, and she also agrees where it's important that we have empathy. We don't jump to conclusions. I think it's about listening more to each other, and then rather than straight away jumping to a quick decision. So we practice that. And it's from there that, you know, we don't make rush decisions, but it's more like analytical and strategic steps that we take. And then from there comes to leading down, is it?
Yeah, leading bottom.
Okay. I don't agree with micromanaging, really. For me, if the person can do the job, no matter where they are, and as long as the job is done, I think that's fantastic. And you come back to the point, like example in my dojo with my kids, I mean, if they can gain something from what I teach, that's fantastic. I mean, it's the same with where I work and SNI with my freelancers and MKH. I mean, with our clients or what, if they gain something, no matter how big or small, I think that matters a lot already. Yeah. I hope I'm...
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, good. I can see from there you're really model the right behavior as good leaders. You know. Then it will comes to the next questions, because this is also related to what you have answered me just now.
Sure.
It's going to be a tough questions. But before I ask these questions, I would like to also share some perspectives of my personal perspective on this.
Yeah.
You know, in the Malaysia, not only in Malaysia, for most of the organizations now across the world, they're always talking about SMART goal, right? Which
SMART
means,
goal, yeah.
SMART goal, you have to be like specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and most importantly is time-bounded, right? Especially in Malaysia, all these are actually fact, is realistic, which means most of the organizations, when you're talking about business revenues, they will define certain organization goals. Especially you have to stick strictly with this SMART, you know, have to be time-bounded. I need to see like how much can I earn from this so-called organizational goal. So somehow, because of this SMART goal, they prioritize they prioritize market over moral.
Sadly, that is the case.
And also they actually prioritize a competitive working environment over a collaborative or a cooperative one. So because of this, you breed the wrong cultures, distrustfulness,
exactly,
paranoid, and trustworthiness is deteriorating gradually over the time. So, those workers, especially your employees or your peers, backstabbing, blandishing each others, they only know how to suck up. Sorry, I have to use certain words like this. But
It's understandable.
It is fact,
It is, yeah.
especially in Malaysia, if you are like try to imagine the fantasy of good leaderships, like what you mentioned, no micromanaging, try to build a empathy or a compassionate working environment. This is not even a thing in most of the leaders, their arsenal.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So that's why it's very difficult to execute such, I would say, to achieve such conditions, working environment. And what do you think about this?
Frankly speaking, I reached a stage. Actually, I think we all were at one point where we dreamed about making wholesome change in whatever we're doing, but too bad the world is too big to do all that But so yeah I mean, after all this experience, I think in a way all this experience we have to go through to realize. And I feel if there is a small change that we can do wherever we go, I think that's fair without losing sight of what we want to make. Should I say make the world a better place, or let's just not go too big maybe make a culture or work environment much more better. Because frankly speaking, when I reflect a lot these days, I find somehow it's always like one thing more than the other. And as you were saying, a lot of companies, they're mostly all out marketing. But how can you achieve your results when you don't take care of your people? I mean, it's the people that matter that move your company. I mean, simple as that. You don't take care of them, the turnover is high, and then where does this put your company?
Achieve your goal.
So I know people are rushing for deadlines, but if we don't practice it now, what's the point of even talking to each other about making a change? I mean, unless I mean, I think a lot of people now is like, you know what, it is what it is. Let's just leave it. And then we still complain. So
yes.
I reached a stage where yes, it's important that we talk about it, but what is the solution? If you can't have the solution I mean, straight away, it's okay, but I think it's important that we reflect as we go along, like what can be done better. And I believe that's everyone's goal, to make things better in life. I mean, our parents or the older generation, the boomers, as you say, yes, they had their time. They went through different circumstances. They overcome different circumstances. Our time, we have to make things better. I think in life, it's about making things better for each other. And I feel this is where we have to evolve. But as I say, because of different generation gaps it's very tough. We can't change the whole world. But once we are up there, let's not forget where we came from in the past. And, we should build on if we're up there. So if this is what we went through, again, I think we're talking about empathy. If this is what we went through, and if we all have the thinking, we don't want our juniors or or the younger people to go through what we went through, then it's on us to have the empathy to make sure they learn better. Of course, not to the point of being pampered. This is about finding the balance. So you see, I realize this with humans, we do things, one is too much and then the one thing is less.
Yes, correct.
So coming to the part about, let's just say, guiding your junior, while you don't want them to go through what you went through or suffered,
yes,
sometimes too much also will make them make them lazy. So I think we have to balance it out where, let's just say after a few, so I have an intern, for example, I will show her how to write emails because she's so scared about her language. I show her one or two examples, but after that she has to be on her own. Again, you need to, we are not all perfect, but we have to observe carefully how, how we guide the younger people. So for me, when I guide her, I know she's a slow learner. So yeah, so that's I have to plan out in such a way where I'll know when the time comes where I have to let her write her own emails. So
yeah, understood.
Right. So, but yeah, so coming back to the point, I believe we may not achieve fully what we want in the next few years. I mean, how do I say this?
But at least you start now.
Yes.
From yourself.
start now, and I
change it gradually.
And I would encourage people more to, yes, we complain, we see the problem, but think about what we can do next lah. I mean, and don't think about it to yourself lah. I mean, express it out so that we at least we all will be reflecting lah. The brains are moving, and then we will.
I absolutely agree with you. Actually, it also sparked out another perspective from me. Actually, I noticed something very funny now.
Okay.
Most of I wouldn't say is the baby boomers or the Gen X leaders, they are having the backwards thinking, like what you mentioned just now earlier on, right? They actually told their employees, you have to work harder and we have to achieve our business goal so that we can have more luxuries to organize more team buildings, to have more financial rewards for all of you so that the team can work collaboratively and the trust can be developed among each of you. But actually, that's a backward thinking. You should develop the trust first.
Exactly.
Only you can achieve your business goal. Then only you can have a better financial rewards for everyone. That should be their way. But most of the leaders nowadays, especially in Malaysia, I notice all the organizations, they are thinking the other way around. You should hit the KPI first, then only we will have more rewards or luxuries for celebrations. Then from there, you can nurture collaborations. So I think that's totally wrong. So from what you shared just now, I noticed that you would like to use for example, like empathetic leaderships to change the cultures that you are currently running. Then from there, you little by little, you can start to create a ripple effect to the younger generation so that they will spread the same ripple effect to their friends or their peers. Then everyone will practice empathetic leaderships whether they will hop around to the other company next time in the future, then they will bring this culture along to the new organizations. Then as a leader, then they can create the ripple effect to the younger generations, maybe the alpha generations.
That is how it is. I mean, we're all on earth for a reason. I mean, it's not to go against each other. I mean, even though we have wars, but that is not the purpose. I mean, that's how I see things. That we're supposed to help guide each other. I mean, that is I believe that is what the purpose is. I mean, even though not a lot of us see it, but that should be the case. And I think very well, life is so short.
Yes.
You may, all those days we always thought, if you're in your 70s or 80s, you can go. But even people of the same age like us, with a lot of depression cases and all, anything can happen. I mean, I lost
social anxieties.
I lost a good friend in 2014, same age as me, and he was just coming out of diploma, and
due to anxiety.
I don't have the full story, but it's again coming from a stressful environment. So
I see.
But I mean, this is an eye opener, honestly, and I told myself, this cannot go on any longer. I mean, just taking life as it is, and I think that's where my vision kind of solidified to, like, while we still have time on earth, I think we should make it better for each other. I think there's a leader in all of us, whether it's high up there or like a low profile. This is how we should have our purpose as human beings, lah.
Yeah, good. That's what I want to hear, actually.
Cheers.
We are totally aligned with this value of leaderships. Then slightly stepping backwards from this leadership topic, I just want to find a correlations between your area of expertise to these leaderships.
Sure.
How would you communicate, since you are the experts in this area, right? The communications. How would you utilize your communication skills while communicating with your boss, your peers, or your staff? Which means, the art of communications, how to use the communication skill that you have learned during your majors, and so that you can establish the trust with all these different parties.
I don't have the perfect answer for that, honestly, but from experience, at every stage, as I, learned, as I communicate with different people, I always I try to, when I'm talking to someone, and someone shares a sad story, for example, I put myself in their shoes before I even say anything. That is again, it's come back to empathy, to be honest. And actually, I have a bad habit. I'm very careful with my messaging, honestly. I still find, frankly speaking, I don't really like to text people, honestly, because from experience, I've seen how it can lead to miscommunication. But
I see.
yeah, anyways,
Because it carries none of the emotions, you know.
correct. And even though you type it out as carefully as possible, sometimes people still get the wrong image. So I'm totally against texting, but anyways, we have to live with it. Anyways, in my way of, communicating with people without, I don't like to make people annoyed, and that's my, unless I have something to say. And anyways, again, it comes from my PR experience where I preempt things. I look at situations before I even say anything. Again, I'm saying I'm not always careful all the time, but I'm always thinking ahead, like, okay, this person is, feeling like this. I will try and say it in this way, And again, it comes down to a lot of being empathetical, I think that is still something that we all should practice more. It's always been put aside, to be honest, as you are saying, companies always, your problems are your problems. Just go and focus on getting your KPI. But
yes, KPI oriented.
But again, your KPI is not going to be achieved if you don't take care of your people. Come on. But if you want to pay people to work also without, being lazy, you need to also find their ticking points. So maybe, for example, if let's just take it to my dojo with my kids. Not to say all kids, enjoy Aikido. There's some who are hesitant to join, but somehow it's also like a training ground for me where, as I help the kids, I also discover different characters, and you learn from each of them. They have the ticking points that make them tick. I may not get the answer for all of them, but I guess, end of the day is the success of getting a child to respond. I think that's the beauty of it. And as from there, I'll take it from there and practice, with my peers and whoever I'm working with, my clients. So I hope I answered, but I
think you answered my questions. Yeah, absolutely. Because from what I understand, what you have explained just now, which means you will use the communication skill that you have learned to identify their taking point, like what you mentioned, then based on different characteristics, then you try to be empathetic, to understand, to put yourself into their shoes, so that that's how trust is built.
Exactly.
They will be more vulnerable to you. Then both of you are not working as a strangers. It's not like a boss and the staff. You are working like more to like a family members.
Correct.
Then with a stronger family bonding, then you can achieve whether it's your business goal or your organization goals and whatsoever.
And I'm adding on, like, on the texting part.
Yep.
Over the years, I've learned how to shorten it, but I also come to, like, if I can meet the person and talk, that'll be great. If I cannot, then I'll just shorten it in such a way where, okay, this is what I have in mind, but I think I'll save it when I see you, That's how I
understood. I agree with that, because really texting sometimes is not so expressive like in physical,
Yes.
Especially when you are just sending a message, when just putting a full stop, people might be thought that the full stop sounds like arrogance or you are angry,
Correct.
You must carry the message with some emoji at the end of the sentence so that it looks more friendly. So actually, I found that is quite fascinating. But anyway, I agree with you, like testings or messagings and even email is not, I would say, the best way of communicating. The best way of communicating is still speaking with a physical person.
Yes,
you can
exactly.
see their body gestures, their face expressions, like their sincerities, how the way they express their gratitude and appreciations.
Correct.
All this, you have to see it in the real persons. I agree with that. Okay, so we come back to the last sessions of this podcast. I would say,
Yep.
It's also slightly related to leaderships, but it's more towards the visions and innovations. Like, because powering AI, the era of powering AI technologies are actually accelerating now.
Very fast, yeah.
The robots can do those unimaginable kind of stuff.
Correct.
They can do dancing, replacing all these performers. And how would you see yourself in the next 5 years how would you, I mean, to be in concise, how would you structure the organizations or the things that you are doing in order to fit yourself into the next 5 years era in terms of technologies and also achieving your visions, like building empathetic leaderships? How would you see that?
I feel this is going to be like a balanced play, honestly, because let's not hide the fact that AI would be very much needed as we go along in life, but I think we need to be careful not to overuse it, because I'm just going to be very blunt. When it comes to writing a story, there's nothing like the human touch still. Example, ChatGPT can maybe help you craft the paragraphs and how to arrange the story, but it's robotic words. And so again, I think people need to be aware we still need to be creative in here and come up with the human touch so that our story has more emotions to it. So if you're asking how it's going to go 5 years down the line for me, PR agencies, I think, are still very much needed, but need to evolve. You can't just stick to just one, what do you call? I can't say one service, it's like one specialty. I think I kind of saw it ahead where I formed my startup, where I noticed in PR, clients will still ask for this and that. And sometimes if we don't have those resources, we end up contacting another agency. Want to have all in one, I mean. And then you can tell your client, oh, you're looking to solve, let's just say, example, graphic designing. I got a designer here who's special,
understood.
who has that strength to even do that job for you. So I think that's how PR agencies are going to evolve in the next 5 years. And so I believe, when the usage of AI is, it can give you drafts, but again, the humans need to execute it still to give it their emotions. So I mean, AI can come up with some design for you, no problem. But sometimes when you look at it, you're like, does it look real? I mean,
Yeah, correct.
where's the real touch? So I think this is where balance has to come in. For me, if we can find the balance where we don't rely on AI, but AI is like, it gives you like the direction, or I think that's the right way to say it. The direction or the draft. The rest of it, humans have to play a part. Humans, when it comes to writing, graphic designing, we still have to. That's still our role.
Sense of human touch.
Yes. So that's how
I agree with you, because this is what I heard from someone. I'm not sure you heard about him, Simon Sinek.
Okay.
He mentions that, right? Imperfections is actually perfections.
True,
imperfections, which means it's from humans, right? Because somehow if you use ChatGPT or you use AI to generate a draft for your scripts or in front of the media, it is too perfect, flawless. But it just, because it is too perfect, then it is lacking of a sense of like human, without the human touch. People can't feel that this is comes out from the human, it come out from a robot, because it's emotionless. It's just too perfect.
Even media editors can detect that, so we have to. You can't rely on AI. I mean,
they have the AI detector, right?
Correct.
That's why if they detected it, then your message that you want to deliver will be gone, because it's create a sense of like distrustful,
Exactly. Yeah.
Understood. Then with this the so-called the AI technologies, do you think that it can help you to ease your deliveries of empathetic leaderships?
This is all coming down to the balance of it, I would say. Wow, how does AI help on the empathy?
Yeah, leaderships.
Honestly, I may not have the right answer now, but maybe, like I said, if the majority of us, not the whole world, if the majority of us can understand AI is such where, it's helping us with our work, with whatever our daily chores and all, but don't fully rely on it. And how does it help on empathy side? Well, and again, this is about balance, I would say. I mean, even if the person is over reliant on on AI, somehow we have to figure out a way to, guide the person to say like, yes, I understand where you're coming from. Maybe you have no knowledge in this, that's why you turn to ChatGPT. But I propose you read up on this, you read up on that. Maybe this will give you a better. I think it also comes to how you get your peers or the kids you're teaching like to read up. I think reading is still crucial in today's world. I mean, every answer can pop up on ChatGPT or wherever if you type some
Which means
question.
you have to do re-verifications, whether the source is reliable.
Yes, I think that's the problem now. ChatGPT can put out everything, but is the source true? A lot of times I have to double check. So if we can remind people of that, and people become aware of that, I think yes, that's where you can still
Understood.
keep the empathy.
I got your point, which
yeah.
means we should try to use the empathetic leadership skills to actually guide and the younger generations or your peers or even your subordinates, to utilize the informations from AI wisely so that it won't mislead you to the wrong directions, right?
And I think, again, I'm going to play this. I'm going to mention this again, like the switching of roles. Would you rather engage with a human or a robot?
Of course,
Yeah,
definitely
that's right.
human. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
humans.
I think you have to think that way.
But somehow that's the funny part of it. Some people they even build out a romance relationships with the robots because they think that
Strangely enough.
that the AI understands them better than their own partners. This is the funny part of it. But anyway, I think that they are just too perfect to be human.
Exactly.
You can't really humanize a robot because what informations that the AI have is also coming from the human stories, right? They actually just gathers all the informations around the world from humans, what they have shared through the social media or through the internet. Then they provide you the responses based on the questions that you raise. So that's why, AI is just I would say supporting tool, but it's
That's the word. Yeah. The beauty of life still is human to human. And
yes, correct. Absolutely agree with you.
Yep.
I think this is a very meaningful session.
I'm glad to know.
I really amazed by your sharings, especially the leaderships that you have exhibit. I'm really impressed by that, and
Thank
I
you.
believe that can become someone who can really become the messengers of the true leaderships, like empathetic or compassionate leaderships in the futures. And you can definitely model the right behaviors to the younger generations, how to become a great leaders.
Yeah, if I can impart knowledge where it's not about all titles and all, but it's about changing each other's lives, no matter how big or small, I think that's how we will evolve and change the world for the better, I would say.
Yeah.
One step at a time. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Navin.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.